Next item on the agenda is citizen communications, and I do have one request at this time. Steve Wright has requested to speak. Steve, would you come up, please? You'll state your name and also your address.
Stephen C. Wright, and I live at 2410 Lavender. And I've got a few questions and some things to throw out to you. I hope I counted these out right. If you'll pass this down. About 3 years ago, there was a resolution, it's on the top page, that was signed by Horace Shipp, requested by Mr. Boldt. I think he was here. There was about 8 or 9 people that started a project called the Front Street Commission. If you don't know who I am an audio engineer and I'm on a sound system, and I've done probably about 3,500 jobs in the last 40 years. That's about 10 years worth of work. A lot of sweat. So the history of Front Street, basically, several of us got together and realized that we had something possible down here that we could make something happen on, with the fact that the city owns a lot of city lots down there. It's open, wide. We started planning some things. We set up 5-year plans, and I know, Ms. Davis, you don't go get money without having 2, 3, 5-year plans, and Chad, you know how those work. We set up some plans. We made some basically drawings, situations. We got donors to give us approximately $25,000. This is not city money. This was donors we went and found on city property. We put in approximately, if I can figure that in my head real quick, 2,100 amps of electricity. You know how much that is. You got apartments. We did a lot of things. About 8 months ago, for some reason, our committee has stopped having meetings. We don't know why. It seems that whoever was put in charge of it has decided that they're going to start running this. They were put in place by someone here in the room, and we're just absolutely baffled. We had a lot of things going. We've gone and gotten a caboose. It's sitting out here rusting right now. We got some things put in by the railroad, Union Pacific, Mopac. I'm not sure which one they are now. Basically, what's happened here in the last few weeks is we have noticed that all of our plans have been thrown out. The reason I gave you this resolution is because this board, and if you weren't on this board in 2010, then you didn't vote for this. The rest of you guys did. And I'm gonna go over some things. It's a volunteer committee. It's made up of downtown business owners, historians, lifelong Arkansas supporters, and project coordinators. You'll coordinate community activities and so on and so forth. Utilize 2 city-owned parking lots. Myself and about 4 other people went to the railroad people and said, how can we make this old piece of concrete you've got work? Made that work. So bottom line is, about 6 days ago, a bunch of us got an email. That's your second page. That said basically, if you want to be on this board, and we didn't know we weren't on it, you need to send an application. And I was out of town, so I, didn't do that. Number 2, if we don't get it by a set date, you won't be on the committee. Number 3, it's for a 1-year deal. Now, what's weird about this is this resolution doesn't say anything about 1-year committees. It doesn't mention term limits. And basically, I really don't think that a city employee can pull out a resolution that you guys voted for and Mayor Shipp signed and change it on their own and say, here's what we're going to do. I don't think it's possible. We raised over $25,000 to do things. We came to the city and honestly begged for money. Well, I'm not gonna get through with this. Bottom line is, there's been some things happen that shouldn't have happened. The committee was thrown out.
I want to ask him a question.
Yes.
So you continue, do y'all got a stipulation as to where you live at, whether you be on the committee or not? Where you live in Arkansas?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It was people who are, there was a couple of people with doctorate degrees. They did not reapply for this because they said this is not right. Bottom line is, it appears that, and I'm out of time.
I say
No,
something to you,
as
so
long
you
as if the
continue.
director engages you, how
I'm
much time
saying
he wants you to have.
I will say this, and it's very inflammatory, but it appears that someone is trying to load this thing up so that they can do what they want. They've thrown out the board. We had our 5-year plan. We had a structure drawn up. We have electricity in place to handle anything. And I've done this for a long time. 2,100 amps, you can handle a lot of stuff. It doesn't matter. I worked with Garth Brooks. I worked with a lot of people. You can do a lot of things. So bottom line, we've been stopped in our tracks.
When was the last I'm sorry, Director. When was the last meeting that you guys had?
If I'm correct, February.
When?
February
Of this year?
of this year.
Yes. Okay.
And we had meetings from 2009, 2010 till then. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know why we got thrown out. People on the Municipal Auditorium Commission are asking the same question. What's going on? Who's in charge of this? Why is this going on? Do you, as a board, do you even know what's going on? Then I think it's time for, I'm sorry, it's time for y'all to start asking questions.
I want to ask you, how many person was on y'all board?
It started out originally with about 8 of us.
Get behind the mic
I'm
so
sorry,
they can hear.
I can't
So
hear.
so the people can hear you.
Okay. It started out with 8 people, and when we had our last meeting, including Mr. Harrison's police, I think we had about 17. So I even had people that knew I was on the board, people who have come in and bought lofts down here and said, hey, we want to be part of this, you know? Beverly Rowe has turned a couple of buildings into situations where bring people downtown. George Dodson and I ran Railfest 2 years ago. We were begging for money. And apparently that's the third page, which I did not get to, but I'm gonna leave it with you. Apparently there was $12,000 we didn't know about because we were told there was no money. Next year you got 30. The next year you got 126, and Greg Bischoff wrote an article, said you got 186, if I'm not mistaken, 189, I wrote it down wrong. So where's this money? Where did it go to? What slot did it get put in? We don't know. Y'all need to ask some questions. You know, as a citizen of Texarkana who pays her, you know, I go buy groceries. That's A&P money. I go to the show. I go out to eat. That's A&P money. Where's this money going? So my question to you, that's all I've got. You need to start asking questions.
Very good. Thank you. This time we will go into executive session. We will be discussing commission appointments and also the city manager's vacancy. We will reconvene. We have any motions, any business? If it not,
Make a motion that we inform the people what happened in the executive session.
No, let's just,
Or call off what has
you're
happened.
doing it, whatever you want to do. You make the motion.
I make a motion that we hire Harold Boldt back. Review of the contract resolution that's intact.
No, sir.
You did second it.
is that for
You
election?
seconded it.
Did you second?
Mike seconded it.
No?
I was asking Laney.
Laney, did you second?
I didn't second, no.
Okay, all right, the motion's died.
Move
We
for
are adjourned. Now then, we can't
Whoa, whoa,
back
whoa,
for 8
whoa,
months. Thank you. We're adjourned.